Greetings, YouTube! Today I'll be talking about another Todd McFarlane figure, and this is a chained demon. No, I don't know the name of the figure, I apologize. But I do happen to like the figure, which is why it's in my collection. Because it makes me vaguely think of anthropomorphic creatures, though this is much more demonic-like. So you have a figure here which is just replete with detail. There's so much detail on this figure. It is really quite astounding. And of course, I call it a chain demon because it actually uses 3 real chains, which I think is a very nice touch. Not only does it give the impression of delicacy, but a chain that would be appropriate to the size of this creature. This is an incredibly strong chain for a creature of this size. But you get this impression of the being pierced through its skin, its flesh, its armor, which I think is quite good. You get the maybe it's suffering from this. You know what I mean? Maybe it's one of the reasons it's so mad. You have leg articulation. You have shoulder and elbow articulation. Though if you want this thing to stand up, you don't really have many leg options. That's pretty much it. Though it is very stable. You don't need a tail at all to keep it up. It stays up quite nicely. Interesting. It has 4 digits on its fingers and only on its hands, only 3 on its feet. You normally have there's normally a correlation between on terrestrial creatures between feet and foot and a hand, the number of digits, but not in this case. But of course, it is a demon of some variety, so hey, I have a cat in the background. Pardon me. And you have some. Do you have any waist articulation? Not really. Sorry, I thought there was. I apologize. It doesn't seem really. Maybe it's just so old that it doesn't want to turn. But it has a wonderful sense of power and menace. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Whoops. Its hips do move. This big claw up here, which is soft rubber, and you have these back here, which are also soft rubber, and these tail-like tentacles. Though they come off center, so it definitely has that image of chaos. That's even its own body is producing components that aren't symmetrical, that aren't in line, that aren't potentially under its own control. I really quite like that. You also have some nice artistic elements, like these shoulder art here is quite nice. I think that was very well done. A good choice. I mean, you have, look at that. Look at this. Look at that. Just that detail is so nice. And the colorations, while all in a fairly muted palette, are well executed. The painting is nice in this. This comes back like this. Oh, big nasty spike thingy. That's that barbed thing. And look at those. Would you want to get hit by those things? I wouldn't want to get hit by those things. Just very well done. I remember I saw this figure, I'm like, oh, that's awesome looking. That just looks like a demon. You know what I mean? This would be great for as an inspiration in a fantasy game. Of course, if you wanted to scare your players like nobody's business, you could dump this on the table and tell them this is the same scale as your 25mm figures, and have them all run from the room. This is a godlike monster in that case. This is something on the scale of the Tarask. This would be interesting. You could actually have this stand in as your Tarask in a campaign. You could make this be a creature that large and powerful, chaotic, and damaging. This would, I think, be a really good example of that in a 25mm scale. But that's just me. So overall, this thing is just wonderful. It's very well detailed, and it's executed very well. I mean, look at the wonderful slits for eyes. It's solid color, again, giving the impression of a demonic. And look at that mouth. These teeth are very well done. Whoops. They also catch the chains really well. But that's because I'm moving this in a way that probably doesn't move a whole lot in real life. Obviously, if it were real. So there you have it, folks. This is a Todd McFarlane's Chain Demon.